So, this is the Blue Yeti. It's a pretty popular budget microphone that a lot of people pick up when they're starting out. Now, I do include myself in that. When I started YouTube in September 2018, I picked one of these up and initially recorded all my videos with it. Over here, however, we have the mic which I picked up last month. This is the Neumann TLM 102. It's a professional microphone used all over the world, and where I live, this thing will set you back $800. So, 10 times what you could get the Yeti for on sale. Do bear in mind these prices will vary based on where you are in the world. I know in America it's usually more around $700. Nevertheless, today we're going to talk about why this thing is so expensive, if it actually is that expensive, and if you can tell the difference between these two microphones. First off, wasting no time, I want to jump into a blind sound test. So for this, we're going to be doing 4 tests. We're going to test each mic in both a treated and untreated environment, and then we're going to try the audio both processed and unprocessed. So one will be completely dry, other than some volume boosting in post. And the second test will have my regular effects chain that I'll go over in more detail in a bit. Both are going to be used 6 inches away with a mesh metal pop filter to keep that sound as unaltered as possible. And so without further ado, let's get into the tests. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, packed my box with 5 dozen liquor jugs. For further clarification, to make my test a little bit more fair, I recorded the Neumann TLM 102 on my cheapest interface, which was the Behringer UMC22, a fantastic budget interface for anyone wanting to get into audio, by the way. Would I recommend that you pair a TLM 102 with this interface? No, I wouldn't. That said, I decided to use it anyway, just to make this test a little bit more fair. To me, the Neumann just sounded a lot more clear, more detailed, and more balanced, as well as sounding significantly warmer, and also just less boxy sounding. When processed, both do make an improvement. However, again, I think the Neumann TLM 102 really shines here. Because it's recorded all those great sounding frequencies, and all I did was EQ it, compress it, limit it, and then de-ess it, it really brought out the nice characteristics of this microphone. Whereas with the Yeti, there are less of those nice characteristics to bring out. Don't get me wrong, the Yeti still sounds way better with a bit of processing, which is why I always recommend learning audio editing seriously. Before you go and buy something like this, make sure that you really got your audio editing in a good place. Alright, so next we're going to be talking about why the Neumann's better than the Yeti. What makes it so good, and how is it so different to the Yeti that it can be literally 10 times more expensive? The first key difference between these two microphones comes down to connectivity. Where the Neumann TLM 102 uses that standard XLR port, which most professional grade microphones use, the Yeti uses a USB port for maximum compatibility, so you can simply plug it into your computer and get going without the need for an audio interface, like that previously mentioned UMC22. Right, so the Yeti's better. Well, not exactly. For one, the Yeti has to process that audio coming into the microphone with the USB analog to digital converter, whereas the interface has a dedicated one built in, so the signal from the Neumann TLM 102 is converted in a much higher quality, overall leading to a better recording. Bear in mind that with things like YouTube or online voice chatting, this won't really matter all that much. However, if you are one of the very slim target audiences of this Neumann mic, then this absolutely does. Having that dedicated audio interface means that you can actually upgrade your mic without replacing the whole thing. As I mentioned earlier, the interface over there that I recorded these samples on is not particularly high-end. There are a lot of better options out there, and often upgrading that can have a huge impact on the mic, whereas with the Yeti, pretty much what you see is what you get besides pop filters, shock mounts, and anything you might do in post. This all-in-one package is carried on with the Yeti, as under that mesh where the diaphragm lives, there's actually a thin layer of foam to act as a pop filter, and on my TLM 102, there's no such barrier. As you can see, if I lift this to the camera, you can literally see the diaphragm, which is kind of cool. Now, while it does come with one, I decided not to use mine as it makes the mic sound a lot clearer without it, and removing it also reduces the possibility for things like flutter echoes due to the air being able to pass through the mesh. Now, this also means that a pop filter is pretty much essential, as this mesh isn't going to do all that much in the way of reducing plosives. However, I would still strongly recommend one for the Yeti anyway, as it is a nice second layer of protection against unwanted plosives. Me personally, I really like and recommend these mesh ones. Honestly, I really regret not getting one of these earlier. The fact that they don't color your sound and you can see through them is actually super nice.
The Yeti also comes with multiple pickup patterns, being cardioid, bidirectional, stereo, and omnidirectional, which are nice. However, for anything involving recording one voice, such as voiceover or a let's play, you are going to want to use that cardioid setting, which is what I use for the tests. The TLM102 only has the cardioid pickup pattern, which isn't really a problem for voiceovers, which is what I use this mic for. The Yeti seems more like a full package, whereas the TLM102 seems to be part of a larger kit, also made up of other things like interfaces, pop filters, and stands, something else that you get with the Yeti, by the way.
And what do Neumann give you in their cheapest package? Coincidentally, the one I bought. To attach your microphone, you get a mic clip. The shock mount was extra, and I really didn't fancy paying the premium. All in all, for most people, the package deal is way easier and would be a much better option, as most people don't really need to configure their kit to get the perfect sound. They just need something that sounds pretty good and will just get the job done for their YouTube videos or their voice chatting or their demo tape. Good luck, by the way, if that last one's you. So, who should buy this Neumann TLM102 or any other XLR mic in this price range? Specifically, who should buy one over something like this Blue Yeti? Practically none of you watching this video. And if you didn't already know that you needed the TLM102, you don't need it. Seriously, anyone who needs a mic like this knows that they need a mic like this.
For almost everyone, the Blue Yeti will do absolutely fine. However, there are some very real advantages to buying a mic like this Neumann. There's simply two different microphones for two different audiences. The Yeti is totally fine for YouTube videos, great for voice chatting, and will be a reliable microphone for a good price. The Neumann microphone, on the other hand, is a professional standard powerhouse of a microphone that has and will continue to get the job done for a lot of professional projects.
Now, of course, there are more than these two mics. There are XLR mics for the price of the Yeti for those of you who want to get into this and don't mind doing a little bit of research. Hell, there's plenty of higher end mics than this. Believe it or not, that's pretty much the cheapest microphone Neumann sells. Look at this peasantry cardboard box. Most Neumann mics come in like a wood case. The Neumann U87, which can be found in most studios around the world, costs well over $3,000, and a lot of people pay that. Neither of these mics are bad, and of course, the Neumann is better in almost every way except convenience. But they're for totally different audiences, and if you buy accordingly, both will do great. Alright guys, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly had a lot of fun making this one. Making this video has certainly got me thinking. I want to be making quality over quantity, and sticking to a strict schedule does not guarantee that. So I want to only make high quality videos. I want to aim for 2 videos a week, and there will always be a video on Thursday. So let me know, would you prefer 2 high quality videos a week, or would you prefer a more strict schedule? Let me know. Alright guys, so as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, and smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.